We just got back from PodFest 2024, which was the 10th anniversary of PodFest, created by the founder of the Florida Podcasters Association, Chris Krimitsos. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, that was a wonderful thing. It was in Orlando, so it was
it was close by for us, and we went. We went and stayed in Orlando for a couple nights, and it was just a great networking opportunity. And I was thinking about that and our experience, and let's see if I can make that not shine.
Yeah.
So we wrote a chapter in this book, How to Maximize Your Network, with our networking organization that we're a part of, RGA Network, and our subject matter was basically natural networking and what natural,
what does that actually mean?
How to network in a natural way, and so
we all do it. It's just we don't recognize it.
Well, we may not call it that, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But it's not. So there's when I hear about networking and networking, going to a networking event, I think about a business card exchange. I think it's like speed dating with buy my stuff.
Right.
It's just it seems in authentic, and it seems a little pushy, and definitely not a natural conversation kind of place. And so when we're going to this event where we expected to be about 2,000, and there were about 2,000 different people there, plus
from all over the world.
Yes, all over the world. So we intentionally did not try to go into a big crowd and just work the room and break into conversations and hand out business cards.
We don't do well with that.
No, we don't. We just that's not our style. So
I don't think it's very effective either.
Wrote about, no, it's not. No. It's not for us.
No, I'm not sure it's effective anyway.
I'm not either, because you just wind up with a stack of business cards and
that you throw away.
You haven't made any real connection with the people.
Correct.
Right. It's just what do you do? Okay. So the experience that we had was, and I got to give Connie a lot of credit because she's such a great conversation starter in the moment. One example was we were at dinner after the day's events, and the ladies at the table across from us, one of them had quite a lovely dark pink dress, and when they stood up to leave, Connie commented on her dress.
Love the color on you.
And that led to probably a 15 or 20 minute conversation. They had just come from being on a television interview.
Right.
And one of them.
And now they booked on us.
One of them is an influencer, and we're going to have a call and potentially have her on our podcast.
So, right.
Just from a casual comment. I think that same night, maybe walking back. Anyway, we were walking back to our hotel. There was another person. We saw their lanyard and that they were part of the event. So that was the easy part. The easy part was that when you saw somebody with the lanyard, you knew they were part of the thing, and everybody there probably has a podcast. And so it's a really easy question to say, what's your podcast about, or what's the name of your podcast? And so that led to.
And we found out that she was born in Mexico, lived in Australia, and now she was in Austria.
And she met her husband working on a cruise ship. And now lives in Austria, and she's a podcast manager.
Isn't that cool?
And Gabriella, hi Gabriella, in case you see this. And so we had multiple experiences like this where just making a casual comment or asking a question led to a conversation. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But that's the natural networking. That's what happens naturally with people. So we connect with people. You say something, maybe they say and walk away. Maybe they engage.
Well, we were on a podcast like that. I was sitting there as they were setting up, and there was somebody else that walked through that kind of was interesting. Anyway, so the girl who was setting up, she and I kind of rolled our eyes and did that, thing. And then you walked in and then asked a question of them at the table, and the next thing you know, we're on a podcast.
They were setting up microphones and a little, I don't know what to call it, it's not like a little mini mixing board, a little controller. Yeah. And
that's what they record to too.
I had a question about their equipment, because that's our next level upgrade is fancier microphones and I had questions about
toys.
Some of the little struggles that we have in, having guests and their sound and so forth. Anyway, they answered my questions. They were very nice people. And then they said, well, have a seat and let's do a podcast session right now.
We did.
And we did. And I can't wait to hear it. We were kind of all over the place, but, and this was an audio only podcast.
Yeah,
that's
right.
different from what we do.
Right. So that was fun.
Our very last networking opportunity, I think, because we left to come home right after that. To wrap it all up, if you want to read our chapter in the book, you can download this book off of Amazon. The Kindle version is free. We're, I think, on page 180
something or other.
So let's just
we need to mark that.
171.
Oh well, it's close to 180.
That's right. And we look forward to seeing you in another one of our videos. Leave us a comment below if you've got a question about podcasting, about our book, about networking, anything. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks.